Welcome back to my channel, Rad Roots Yoga. My name is Brittany and I will be your facilitator for your practice today. We are going to get started in a child's pose. So we're gonna have our knees wide towards the edges of our mats, big toes together. We're gonna sink the hips back towards the heels and we're gonna reach long through the fingertips, slowly and gently lowering the forehead to the mat. We're going to take a few cycles of breath here on our own, taking the time to close out the outside world and take note of how our bodies are feeling today. Make an intention for our practice. What is it that we are looking to get out of this today? When you're ready, we're going to reach long through the fingertips. We're going to press into the knees as the upper body ripples and shifts forward. We're going to shift all the way on to our bellies. Our hearts and our head are still lifted from the mat. From here, we're going to gently lift the hands from the mat as well, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back body. Release the hands to the mat and press back into your child's pose. We're going to do that 2 more times. When you're ready, we're rippling forward all the way onto our bellies, opening up our hearts. Then we're lifting the hands from the mat, squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back body. And release. Press back into child's pose. And last time, slowly rippling forward all the way onto the belly. We're lifting the hands from the mat. And release, gently pressing back into child's pose. All right, when you are ready, we're going to press up onto the knees, rippling forward like we have. But this time we're going to lift the right knee. And we're going to plant the right foot on the outside of the right hand in our lizard lunge. Maybe you lower down to your elbows here. Maybe not. Either way is fine. From here, we're bringing the right fingertips around as we bend into the left knee. We're grabbing onto the left toes with the right hand. Stretching out the front left quad. And we're opening up the right shoulder towards the sky. If you have a grip of the toes, we're releasing the grip of the toes, circling the right hand down, back towards the mat. We're pressing up if you are on the elbows. And then from here, we're lifting the back of the left thigh up towards the sky. We are on the top of the left foot. Then we're going to gently circle the left toes down and around to meet the left at the back of the mat. So we are in our plank pose on the tops of our feet here. We're gonna exhale halfway lower chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through, upward facing. You're flexing through the glutes here to protect the low back. Squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back body. And then from here, we're gently lowering the knees to the mat and pressing the hips back into our child's pose. We're pressing up into the knees, rippling the upper body forward, but we're lifting the left knee from the mat and planting the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Then we're going to gently lower the elbows to the mat. We're gonna bend into the right knee as left fingertips come up and over, grabbing on to those right toes, stretching out the front right quadricep, the front right hip, left shoulders up and open towards the sky. We're gonna release the grip of the right toes. Left hand circles back down and around. We're pressing up if we are on the elbows. From here, we're pressing the back of the right thigh up towards the sky. We're still on the top of the right foot. And then we're gonna circle the left toes down and around to meet the right at the back of the mat. In our plank pose, just kind of funky because we're on the top of our feet. We're gonna exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. We'll do that, we'll sequence one more time on each side before we move on, or add two. When you're ready, we're pressing into the knees, rippling the upper body forward, bringing the right knee up, planting the right foot on the outside of the right hand. From here, maybe you lower to your elbows, maybe you stay here, either way is fine. We're gonna bend into the left knee as right fingertips come up and over, grabbing onto the left toes. Opening up the right shoulder. Release the grip of the left toes. Plant the right hand back to the mat. We're lifting the back of the left thigh up towards the sky. Then we're gonna circle the right toes down and around to meet at the back of the mat. Exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. Inhale, pressing up into the knees. We're lifting left knee from the mat, planting left foot on the outside of the left hand. Maybe you find your forearms and your elbows here. Maybe you stay here. Either way is fine. We're bending into the right knee, pulling the heel into the glute. Left fingertips are circling up and back, grabbing onto the toes. Releasing the grip if you have it. Left hand circles back down to the mat. We're pressing the back of the right thigh up towards the sky, still on the top of that right foot. And we're gonna circle the left toes down and around in our plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back. Child's pose. We're gonna press up onto all fours, wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips in our tabletop. We're tucking onto the toes and we're pressing the hips up and back into our first downward facing. Maybe pedal out the feet. Find a gentle sway. The first downward dog of practice always feels so nice to me. Getting that good stretch down the back body, the back of the calves, the Achilles, hamstrings. Always feels so nice. When you're ready, we're gonna come up onto the toes, bend into the knees, and you can step, hop, or handstand your way to the top of the mat. We will meet in our forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, we're gonna halfway lift and lengthen, reaching long through the crown of the head with a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly and articulately rolling up the back body, neck and head are last to lift. Palms and gaze meet overhead. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. You can step the feet back. Plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower, pulling the elbows into the rib cage as you lower. Chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, We're sending the hips back towards the heels, finding our child's pose. And we have been here before. We're going to do the same sequence we have done, but we're going to add on. When you're ready, we're pressing into the knees, rippling the upper body forward, lifting the right knee, planting the right foot on the outside of the right hand. From here, we're going to bend into the left knee, right fingertips come up and over, grabbing the left toes, opening up the right shoulder towards the sky. Releasing the grip. If you have it, right hand circles back down and around to the mat. This time we're going to tuck onto the toes, pressing the back of the left thigh up towards the sky. Then we're going to bend into the right knee, drawing the heel towards the glute. So the right knee is almost on the right elbow. We're going to bring that right knee over towards the left elbow. Then we're going to turn to the inside of the left foot as left fingertips come up towards the sky. Maybe you extend the right foot long in your fallen star. Then we're going to rotate back to center in our plank pose with the right knee to the right elbow. We're going to step the right foot back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back. Child's pose. Left side. When you're ready, we're pressing up onto all fours. Lifting the left knee from the mat. Planting left foot to the outside of the left hand. Again, we're bending into the right knee as the left fingertips come up and over. Finding the right toes. Releasing the grip if you have it. Planting the left hand. We're tucking onto the right toes this time. Pressing the back of the right thigh up towards the sky. We're bending into that left knee as we draw the heel into the glute. So we've got the left knee at the left elbow. Then we're shifting that left knee over to the right elbow. We're turning to the inside of the right foot as right fingertips come up towards the sky. Maybe you straighten through the left leg in your fallen star. Rotating back to center, slow and controlled, left knee to left elbow. Sending left toes back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back. Child's pose. We're going to do that sequence one more time before adding on. When you're ready, we're pressing up through the knees. Right knee lifts from the mat. Planting right foot on the outside of the right palm. Maybe you find the elbows and the forearms. Maybe you stay pressed up onto the hands. Either way is fine. We're bending into the left knee. Right fingertips come up and over to grab left toes. Twisting the right shoulder open. Releasing the grip. Planting the right hand back to the mat. We're going to tuck onto the left toes as we press the back of the left thigh up towards the sky. We're bending into the right knee, drawing the heel towards the hip. Right knee is to the right elbow. We're shifting right knee to the left elbow. Then we're turning to the inside of the left foot as left fingertips come up towards the sky. Maybe you extend long through the right leg. Releasing back to center in our three-legged plank. Right knee is to right elbow. Send the right toes back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower, chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back. Child's pose. Left side, when you're ready, we're pressing up rippling the upper body forward, lifting left knee from the mat, planting left foot to the outside of the left hand. Maybe you find your forearms here. The way we're bending into the right knee as left fingertips come up and over, grabbing onto the right toes. Releasing the grip if you have it, planting left hand back to the mat. We're tucking onto the right toes, pressing the back of the right thigh up, bending into the left knee, pulling the heel into the glute. Left knee is to the left elbow. Shift it over to the right elbow. Turn to the inside of the right foot, right fingertips come up. Extend long through the left leg. We're rotating back to center plank with left knee to left elbow. Send left toes back. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips to the heels. Child's pose. On your next inhale, we're pressing up on to all fours, finding our tabletop, tucking onto the toes, pressing the hips up and back, downward facing. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes, bending into the knees. You can step, hop, handstand, play, whatever you would like. We're making our way to forward fold at the top of our mat. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly and articulately. Palms and gaze meet overhead, reaching up and out of the waist to create space. Exhale, dive the heart forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to plant the hands, step, hop, or handstand to the back of the mat. Either landing in chaturanga or meeting in chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips back, child's pose. We're adding on a little bit more here. When you're ready, pressing up onto all fours, rippling the upper body forward, lifting right knee from the mat and planting right foot on the outside of the right hand. We're bending into the left knee, right fingertips come up and over, grabbing onto the left toes, opening the right shoulder. Releasing the grip if you have it. Planting right hand back to the mat, tucking onto left toes, pressing the back of the left thigh up, drawing right knee or right heel into the right glute. Right knee is at the right elbow. We're shifting that over to the left elbow as we twist to the inside of our left foot. Left fingertips come up. We extend long through the right foot, through the right leg. In our fallen star, slowly and controlled, rotating back through center. In this three-legged plank, right knee is to right elbow. From here, we are going to shift back, kicking right toes up towards the sky and our three-leg down. Then we're going to slowly start to bend in to that right knee, pulling the heel into the glute. Then we're going to slowly drop the right toes off the mat behind us on the left side. We're going to gently lower the hips. Then we're pressing the hips and the heart up towards the sky. Right fingertips are extended long in our wild thing. Maybe the palm finds the center back. Then we're unraveling back to our three-leg downward dog. Right toes are up. We're shifting forward back into our three-legged plank. Right knee is to right elbow. We're going to step the right toes back, plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower chaturanga. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, send the hips towards the heels. Child's pose. We'll do that on the left side. When you're ready, we're pressing up, rippling the upper body forward, lifting the left knee from the mat, planting the left foot to the outside of the left palm. We're bending into the right knee, left fingertips are coming up and over. Opening up the left shoulder, releasing the grip if you have it. Planting left hand back to the mat, tucking onto the right toes, pressing the back of the right thigh up towards the sky. We're bending into that left knee, drawing left heel towards the left glute. Left knee is now at left elbow. We're shifting that over to the right elbow. We're turning to the inside of our right foot as right fingertips come up. And maybe we straighten through that left leg in our fallen star. We're rotating back to our three-legged plank. Left knee is to left elbow. Then we're gonna send those left toes up into our three-legged downward dog. From here, we're bending into that left knee. Then we're slowly dropping the left toes off the right side of our mat, gently lowering the hips, and then opening the hips and heart up towards the sky. Left fingertips are extended long towards the top of our mats. Maybe the palm of the left hand finds the back. And we're releasing back to our three-leg downward dog. Left toes are up. Rippling forward, left knee to left elbow. Stepping left toes to meet the right. Plank pose. Exhale, halfway lower. Inhale, heart pulls up and through. Exhale, roll over the toes, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we're coming up onto the toes. We're bending into the knees. You can step, hop, or handstand to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly and articulately rolling up the back body. Neck and head are last to lift, palms and gaze meet. Reaching up and out of the waist, exhale, dive the heart forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. From here, we're gonna plant our hands and we're gonna play with either a kick switch or a handstand or a crow or a crane or a headstand. Any kind of inversion that you would like to play with in your practice today, that is what we were going for. I'm gonna go ahead and kick up into some version of a handstand. And then it's your vinyasa, and the next place that we're gonna meet together is going to be in our downward facing dog. All right, and here we are going to start to slow it down. When you're ready, right toes lift. We're gonna bend into the right knee. We're gonna draw some big circles, slow and controlled. And then we're gonna bring the right knee to nose. We're gonna slowly lower it to the mat, untuck the left toes, extending left leg long behind us, finding our pigeon pose. Slowly lowering the upper body. And then from here, we're pressing into the hands, tucking on to the left toes, Sending the right toes back up in our 3-leg down. And we're going to gently lower the right toes to the mat. Left toes lift. We're going to bend into the left knee here and draw some big circles. Then we're going to draw left knee to nose. We're gently lowering it to the mat, untucking the right toes, extending the right leg long as upper body lifts, finding our pigeon. Slowly lowering the upper body. We're pressing into the hands, tucking on to the right toes, sending left toes back up towards the sky and our 3-leg down. We're gently lowering left toes to the mat in our last downward facing dog of practice. Let's find a little gentle bounce here. We're slowly lowering both knees to the mat here. We're going to cross over the ankles. We're going to extend our legs out long in front of us. Maybe you found yourself kind of towards the back of your mat like I did. I had to scoot myself forward there just a little bit. Palms reach overhead. And we're extending forward past the toes in our seated forward fold. Letting the head hang. Taking a few cycles of breath here on our own. Taking note of how much different we might feel now in comparison to the beginning of our practice. We're going to reach long through the fingertips, as long as we can reach. And then using the strength of our core, we're slowly rolling down the back body, one vertebrae at a time, until we are all the way on our backs. We're going to draw our knees into our chest here. Arms are coming out to either a T or a cactus. And then we're going to just gently drop our knees off to the left side. Inhale back to center. And we're going to exhale, dropping the knees off to the other side. Inhale back to center. Head and shoulders are going to lift from the mat, clasping onto opposite elbows around our knees. If there are any other postures you would like to add to your practice today, go ahead and feel free to do that here. If not, we're going to extend the legs out long, one at a time. Heels together, big toes are out. Arms are down by our side bodies, palms are facing up, shoulder blades are gently pulled together on the back side body. We're relaxing the muscles in the face and the jaw. Before we drop in, we're going to have one last full cycle of breath together. Inhaling in through the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth, letting it all go. And as your body finds its natural rhythm of breathing, go ahead and drop in. you have the time to stay in this space longer, I encourage you to do so. This is where I'll be leaving you today. I want to thank you so much for choosing to spend time here today. The light in me honors, acknowledges, and respects the light in each of you. Until next time, namaste.